Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob and Grizzly. Here we are. We had to come say hello to you. Again, I know I'm getting out this video late, but as I told you earlier in the week, this is just how it's going to be this week. And I really thank you for your understanding and your patience. What are you doing up there, boo-boo? Oh, he's leaping between the furniture. But I'm just glad you're here. You know, I really needed that outing at the beach yesterday. And I want to say thank you to all of you who came out to the video. I'm still doing a lot of healing. I have to tell y'all, it's an embarrassing story, but I can tell it to you because you're like family. It's embarrassing. It's also a little scary too, honestly, to tell you the truth. By the way, today I'm wearing, I thought I'd show this to you. This is a new pendant I just got. This is a brown agate. And brown agate's a traditional witch stone. It's wonderful for grounding and healing and just protection. And so I've been wearing this pendant, and it's helping my energies to kind of resettle after a somewhat harrowing experience. So anyways, I was going to tell you now, some of y'all are going to say, Bob Hickman, you are the most stupid, idiotic person on earth. I'll accept that. But, you know, you live, you learn. And if you've never had an experience with something, it's easy to not know. And as I've told many of you, I'm never psychic for myself. So I don't see or understand anything from me. It's just the way most psychics are, you know. But let me kind of back up. Anyways, as you know, earlier in the week, I was really, really ill from a directed energy attack. And, you know, that was pretty bad. But I've been healing from that. But I haven't told you I had another kind of feeling of sickness. I've been kind of had a malaise all week and kind of nausea as well. And I can tell that it's not connected to directed energy attack. Because usually I get over those within a day or two. But there's kind of an underlying sickness that I've been feeling all week. And I thought, I don't know why I'm so out of it. Well, the other day I looked in the mirror and I have moles on my neck, which a lot of people have, especially Caucasian people. We tend to have moles. And I always watch them to make sure I don't have skin cancer. I've had them looked at by doctors in the past. Well, there was a mole on my neck that I saw earlier this week that was starting to be inflamed. It was a little sensitive, the skin. I thought, oh, you know, I probably hit it with my Louis Vuitton bag strap, because I carry stuff on my shoulder a lot of times. And you know, any of you have carried a bag, you know, you can hit, if you especially have moles around your collar area, it's very easy to hit them with bag straps and irritate them. They usually get a little inflamed, and after a day or two, they settle down, you know, and there's generally is nothing serious. It's just how moles can be. But this one mole on my neck, I said, gosh, I don't remember this mole being here, being this size. And I thought, well, you know, it may be that I'm just tired, I'm not thinking, because I was recovering from the energy attack. And I started looking up about moles, how to identify a mole problem. Okay, now don't get panicked, guy, because there's a happy ending to all this, okay? And, but I looked at it and it said, well, if your moles exhibit this character, if it has irregular borders, it has this or that. And I was looking, all the pictures it was showing flat moles. Like some moles are flat. My moles tend to physically stand up off my skin, like skin tags. And I was looking at that, well, that doesn't really apply. So I wasn't really worried. And then I got to the section on standing moles. And they started showing pictures. They said, if your mole grows rapidly in size in a short period of time, very possibly could be cancerous. You need to go in. If your mole changes color to like a white surface or a blue or gray surface, you need to go in. And so I was reading this, I was like, you know what? I think I'm getting a precancerous mole or possibly a fully cancerous mole. So I'm reading all these websites, and I had some of the symptoms of a cancerous mole, but not all. And I started watching a lot of doctors, because a lot of doctors are now doing videos to help people with their skin symptoms, and it's really a great help. And I would recommend that you definitely, if you go online, you know, definitely listen to somebody who's a licensed MD. I mean, that doesn't substitute going to medical care, but it's a great place just to kind of get you in an understanding of what's going on. So I'm looking like, well, my mole is okay. It's grown rapidly. Well, then yesterday it started to turn blue and then white, which were one of the signs. I said, geez, God, it really is. I'm pretty sure it's cancerous. Well, as I'm reading through the cancer, that said this is most likely melanoma, which is like the most deadly form of skin cancer. And it basically said, if it gets into you and you don't get it diagnosed, it can spread to your major organs within 6 to 9 months, and you could literally be terminally ill. I thought, oh, that's great. That's all I need. So I called my mom. I was really kind of upset. And I said, Mom, I'm a little worried. I may have a cancerous mole. She said, really? I said, yeah, it's just come in the last few days, but it's looking really gnarly. And she says, well, you better, see if you can find a dermatologist, somebody can look at it. So I was looking around dermatologists, and I hadn't yet decided on it. I was still reading. Well, anyways, I didn't tell you all about this because I didn't want to cause any anxiety or upset. And what ended up happening was, in fact, you can see it, so you get a sense of why I'm saying what I'm saying. Yesterday, when I did my video from the beach, at the beginning of the video, when I'm walking up to Hunan Diner, there's an area where my shirt on this side falls open. I'm not going to show you this area now because it's pretty nasty looking. But my shirt falls open, and you can see a mole, a large mole on my neck. Okay, y'all go see yesterday's video. If you don't get too grossed out by things like that, see it. But if you do, you don't have to see it. Just know it was there. And I'll tell you, thank God for concerned YouTubers. Thank you, God. Normally, I don't like people to medically diagnose me online. I just don't think it's appropriate, especially if they're not MD. I don't really like it. But there was a subscriber, and forgive me, I don't know your name. I have to be honest, I deleted the comment because it freaked me out. But this person was not trying to be bad. They were seriously trying to help me. But I was in a very bad mental state yesterday because of the worry about the cancer. So I just removed the comment. I didn't block the person because I knew that they were truly trying to be helpful, but I just couldn't deal with it at the time. But they said to me, they wrote me a comment, they said, God, Bob, they said, I didn't know you had ticks as bad in America as we do in Australia. They said, we have giant ticks here. And they said, is that a tick on your neck? You need to go and have that removed by a doctor. And I didn't write back. I wanted to write back. I said, no, it's a mole. I think it's cancerous mole. But I didn't want to go into all that. And I didn't want to start drama. So I just removed the comment. And I figure I'll write that person later. Well, anyways, whoever you were from Australia, my comment list, when I deleted the comment, deleted it also from my list. So I don't have a record of who you were when you made that comment. So I want to thank you. First of all, thank you. Thank you for saying it could be this and noticing it. Because normally, as I said, I don't like that. But in this case, it was really helpful. So I was thinking, I said, no, it's not a tick. It's clearly a mole. And if you see the video, you'll say it definitely looks like a mole. Well, anyways, I was reading later online about tests to test your mole to see if it's cancerous. And one of it is to test the sensitivity, check for bleeding. So I'm looking at it, and I'm taking tweezers. Okay, this is going to get really gross. So if you get really grossed out and offended easily, you might want to just skip forward, 5-10 minutes, okay? Or close the video down. Okay, this is going to be kind of graphic, but I want to share it with y'all because I think it's very important. So I touched the mole, and I'm like, wow, it's definitely grown larger even since yesterday, like overnight it had grown. And I'm touching it, and the skin around it was real sensitive. It's right over here on my collarbone. And the skin was really sensitive, which is also, if you have skin cancer, a bad sign because it means that the tissue surrounding the mole is now possibly cancerous. So I was really freaking out. I'm like, oh, I have the red patches. But I thought, it's not bleeding, and the mole has no sensitivity. That's weird. But it did have the coloring. While I'm tapping the mole, all right, just chill out. Okay, if you get scared, turn it off now. Because this is gross, but I'm going to share it. While I'm tapping the mole, which I thought was a mole, it's been on my neck for a few days now. Literally out from the mole extend 8 legs or 6 legs, I don't remember. A lot of legs. They start literally, I literally screamed. I was like, ah! Oh my God, it freaked the hell out of me, honestly. It freaked me out. Well, then I realized, oh my God, this must be what a tick looks like. When I've had ticks on me in the past, they've just been little tiny, little black insects, and I've just popped them off. They've never been a big deal. This tick actually latched into me and was gorging on blood, and it formed into such a ball. It looked like a mole, and it had the coloring of a cancerous mole. And when it was feeding, it had retracted its legs in, so there was nothing to indicate it was an arachnid. Uh, by the way, ticks are arachnids, not insects, which I'll tell you about that later. But there's nothing to indicate it was an insect or an arachnid. So, and it laid perfectly like my moles on my neck do. So it blended in with my moles. Well, then I thought, oh my God, how do I get off? Like, when this thing is now suddenly alive on me, it freaked me out. I hate bugs. I especially hate spiders. And I looked, I said, oh God, it's got 8 legs. That's why I found out later it's related to spiders, which I have a phobia of spiders. So I'm like going to my computer and I'm typing how to remove a tick, emergency at home, Well, I found a medical doctor who walks you through the procedure of how to remove a tick. And I have to find these links and put them below this video. And it showed that when you remove a tick, you don't just rip it off, because the head, it's got like an extractable or retractable sort of head with fangs. And I know that's gross, but it does. And if you break off the head, say, you can create a local infection. Generally won't hurt you. A lot of times the body will expel it on its own. So it's not the end of the world if it happens. But the doctor said basically you lift the thing and hold it at like basically 90 degrees. So vertically out from your body, not twisted, not sideways. Lift the tick vertical. And then you put tweezers right at the head and the skin. And you gently just start applying pressure. Don't rip, don't pull, don't twist. Just start applying pressure. And it said that you'll feel the tick start to fight against it. It'll start to dig deeper. And it actually doesn't hurt, which I found, because ticks inject you with their own, literally it's a form of Novocaine. That's why there's no pain generally. Well, mine was a little sore because it had been on so long. And I started pulling, and it showed on this video that if you do it properly, the tick will get tired because it can't pull against the force of your strength, and it will retract its head without any damage. Well, guess what? It worked. So I got the tick off. I have a nasty looking wound. I may have to yet still see a doctor for Lyme disease test. We'll see. I've got to watch it. It gave advice on what you watch for. I haven't had any real symptoms. I think I do have general illness from it. I do think it has caused some toxins in my body, but it may not be Lyme disease. Not every tick causes Lyme disease, and I'm very sensitive to insect bites, so I haven't felt like I'm dying. It's just I've been a little out of it all week. And as I said, I knew that it was not from the directed energy weapons, because when you're a targeted individual, you understand the difference type of illness that you feel. It's hard to explain unless you've been through it, but just trust me, it was different than that. So luckily I got the thing. I put the tick down in alcohol to kill it, rubbing alcohol. Now I know people say, Bob, that's animal cruel, you should have let it outside. Well, these things are very dangerous, and grizzly's in the yard. It could have easily got back on him and come in the house. And I thought for everybody's safety, it's best to kill it. I normally don't advocate even killing insects, but this time I felt it was necessary. So if you're a PETA person, please don't attack me. It was literally a physical danger to my household. Okay, please, I ask you to respect my choice, whether you agree with it or not. Let it be, because I know some PETA people will attack me for killing a tick. But I put in alcohol, and then I put it inside a Ziploc bag, and then a second Ziploc bag, and then I froze it just to double sure that it would be killed. Deprive it of oxygen and freeze it. So the tick, actually, it's actually still in the freezer. I'm not going to show it to you because it's really gross. But just trust me, you can go look up pictures of engorged ticks. Just look that up, and you'll see what it would look like. So anyways, the good news is I didn't have a mole that had cancer. And my YouTuber from Australia, who's, please forgive me for not knowing your name, literally saved me a lot of danger and a lot of stress. and I want to thank you because I was literally going to go to a dermatologist, and I thought to myself, how embarrassing it would have been for me to go in there and go, Doctor, I have a cancerous mole, to only hear a doctor say, you have a tick. I would have been so embarrassed. They'd have thought, who the hell is this guy? So stupid. But all I can say is, if you've never experienced an engorged tick, which I never have, because as I said, in the past when a tick would get on me, even if it would attach, I would catch it right away. And a tick, when it's not engorged, looks very different than an engorged. They look like totally different things. So I had no concept of a tick looking like that. And I didn't believe it was a tick because there was no legs. It was right where my moles were. I mean, it was literally placed directly in the center of my neck moles. So I thought it was one of them. So anyways, long story short, Psychic Bob came through that. I don't have cancer. By the way, I did go through a cancer check. They have screening that you can do to check your moles. And so I went through all my moles and checked them. And luckily I have nothing that looks irregular anywhere else on my body. Thank you, God. So, lesson is, definitely always watch your moles, okay? And be aware of ticks. Do research. I know it's a gross subject and it's ghastly, but it's very important. I may not be out of the woods yet because there's a 3-month period, from what I've read, till Lyme disease can develop. So for the next 3 months, I have to monitor the infection, the bite site. I have to monitor my body symptoms. I psychically, I'm just not feeling I have Lyme. I think that I was sensitive to the bite. I don't think I have Lyme disease, but I think that it did make me ill on some level. I think I was absorbing some toxins into my body from it. And it was feeding on me. And, as a psychic, it's like an energy vamp. So, anyways, I'm okay. So that's what's going on with Psychic Bob. I haven't got this video out today. I have really been trying to rest today. This took a lot out of me. Between the stress of thinking I had cancer and then finding it was a horrible bug, and I've been treating the wound because it left a nasty wound on my collarbone. And again, I'm not going to show you. You don't need the graphic images. I know some people are there like, oh, we want to see. I know there's always somebody like that. Actually, I used to be like that. I used to watch videos of what spiders did and see what the true reality was. But I don't think you need to see that. But it's like Bob's okay. I'm taking it slow. I was going to tell you about UFOs. I haven't had time to prepare anything today for UFO Friday. But I do have a treat coming for you. If our schedules coordinate, there's a YouTuber who's new to my channel, and we've been chatting back and forth. His name is Christian the Man. And I'm going to put his link to his channel below. He is a UFO expert. He's been studying UFOs. It's his life's work. He has some phenomenal, and I do mean phenomenal, UFO footage. He has a direct psychic link with aliens. He's a very amazing ufologist. He and I are talking. He would like to come on my channel and be interviewed and talk about, I'd like to interview him and have him talk about his work. So I'm not going to promise it, but if his schedule works out, hopefully next Friday on UFO Friday, he can be here with us. So he and I haven't confirmed it. I just told him I'd like him to be on. He said, I would love to be on. Let me know anytime. So, Christian the Man, if you're watching this, check your calendar. See if you can do Friday. Shoot me a message and let me know, okay? You put it on this video or, send me an email. My email links are all below this video in the info box as well. Because I think that when you go to his channel, and definitely go subscribe to him. I want to see him grow in subscribers because he's doing an amazing work. He literally goes out and UFOs come over him. It's not special because this is real footage, you can tell. And he can call them to him. He's evaluated them. He does a lot of study of this phenomenon. It's amazing work. And I think we could all learn a lot from him. So, I'm so nice to make sure I say his name. Christian the Man. Yeah, I'll put his link below. And, go over there, check out his stuff, and hit subscribe. Join his channel because I think we're going to be having a lot of him on Spirit Channel in the coming months because, when you got somebody that's getting that much connection, you want to really pay attention and listen. And I think he's getting a lot of connection. And I'm excited to study more about his work and learn about his journey. So I invite you guys, go see Christian the Man. I'll put his link below. And in the meantime, just know Psychic Bob's here. I'm sorry I'm late this week. I'm sorry I'm not getting everything done that I want. but I've been really busy and really ill at the same time. So it's hard to do everything. But I wouldn't want to let the day pass without at least checking in with you guys. And tomorrow we're going to have our Spiritualist Class. Depending on how I feel, we may have the seance. I'm really working on a little bit of balance right now as I work on my healing. So I may or may not do the seance. It just depends, because when I channel, even though I love it and it makes me feel so good ultimately, it does take a lot of energy. And a lot of times psychics have been cautioned over the years. Um, they'll say, don't overstrain yourself psychically, because that energy you need to direct towards healing of the body. So I'm going to see if my guides want me to channel, because really it's always up to them. And if they come in tomorrow and say, we're ready to come through, be ready, then I'll channel, because then I know that I'll have the energy, because they'll make the energy present. But if they say to me, we're not coming through today, you need to rest, then I'll honor that as well. And I think that's a really important part of spiritual life, is to honor your body. A lot of psychics, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but a lot of psychics get so etheric, and I've been there myself, believe me. They get so etheric that they lose touch with their body, and their physical health really goes. I was at one point, there was a time in my life a few years ago when I was literally channeling about 12 hours a day, readings and trance channelings. It was great. I loved every minute. I loved all the people I met, but it had a physical toll, and I started to get ungrounded, and I was literally loopy. Like, I go to the store, like I think, oh, I have to go grocery shopping, and I'd walk down, like for example, the soup aisle, and I'd just stare at all the cans of soup, and I felt like I was looking at Andy Warhol painting, but nothing registered. Like, what am I buying? What am I doing? I just stand and stare. And a psychic friend that I knew said to me, she said, Bob, I want to talk to you. She said, you're becoming so etheric, you're not grounded in reality. You can't even function. And she said, I really think that you need to take, a few weeks off and not do any work. And I actually did that. I backed down my schedule, and I stopped doing a lot of readings. Because a lot of people don't know, like for those of you who are new here, like I had a guy yesterday, in fact, I'll tell you, you'll see his comment on the video. He didn't mean to be hostile, he apologized, but he criticized me. He says, I don't see you doing readings, so how do I know you're psychic? And I said, well, I do readings, but a lot of my readings are private readings, and so you don't see always people in my office and read, because a lot of that's personal private readings, and people want their privacy. But I did assure him that I read every day, several hours a day. So when I'm not doing videos, a lot of you don't say it, I am actually working as a psychic. So interestingly, he raised a point. He said, I think it would be great for people to see you doing a reading, like what you do in your private hour readings. And I think that's a good idea. And so I think I am going to incorporate that in, and I may get some clients that I know that would be open to that. And we may start showing like my life on a day as a psychic kind of. I have in the past done videos of a day in the life of a psychic, and you can look those up like years ago. But I think it's time for some newer ones and more direct experience of that. So I'm looking at that as well. So we're going to definitely be evolving here. But in the meantime, probably for the next few days, I'm really going to take it a little lighter. I'm not going to push myself to do a lot of intense video work or channeling work. I do have people I'm reading for, but I have balanced my schedule. I've worked with my schedule coordinator to make sure I'm not overstraining myself. So, if you're waiting for private reading, I will get to you. I have a little bit of a backlog, but know that Psychic Bob is not forgetting you. It's just I've got to balance, because as I've told you guys, I'm going to be here for the long haul. So I don't want to be like a lot of psychics and burn myself out and fry out and never come back. It's not what's going to happen. But a lot of psychics have that challenge. So I want to thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for being open to my videos, to my spiritual work, to my teachings, and for your love. So many of you have been supportive of me. When that guy last night attacked me for not doing enough spiritual readings work on my channel, bunch of you jumped on and said, you don't know Psychic Bob. He works all the time as a psychic. He's a full-time psychic outside of YouTube. And it's true, YouTube, you only see a snippet of somebody's life. So it's very easy for people to think, well, that, all Psychic Bob does is sit on the beach and eat Chinese food, But those of you who have been with me over the years, you know that I work a lot as a psychic, and I try to bring some of that here. And for the new person that said that, I forgot to tell them, check out every Tuesday we do Messages from the Spirit World, which is a form of my psychic reading as well. It's not as extensive as a full hour reading, but you get a little taste of my work. On Monday we have horoscopes. Tuesday we have Messages from the Spirit World. Wednesday we have Wiccan Wednesday. Thursday's Vlog Thursday, which we had yesterday. Friday's UFO Friday. Saturday is Spiritualist Saturday. And Sunday is the Witching Hour. So we cover some 7 days a week. And I hope that you like. If you guys want to see a change in program, if you want a special type of series, I'm open to that. I mean, I'm not saying the series we have now, the setup, the 7 days, has to be locked in for eternity, because we all grow and evolve, and there may come another type of series that will be even more interesting. So, right now I'm not cutting out anything. Don't worry, nothing's going away. But I'm looking over the next, few months, trying to give you guys also some more of what you want. Because I want to be here to make you guys learn, not make you, help you learn, help you grow, be a presence. And I feel like I have a unique position that I can do that. I'm very thankful for it, and I don't ever take it for granted. I really feel like when you guys come to my channel, you're in my hands. I take a great responsibility for what I put out, because I don't want to, damage your souls or mislead you or scare you or create fear. Because a lot of psychics make their money off of fear. They make horrific prophecies and scare people, and then people run to them in panic mode for readings. I don't do that. Now, that's not to say there aren't negative things that happen in the world, and sometimes readings have scary elements, of course. But that's not what I focus on, but there are psychics that do. So I want you to know, as a psychic, I am going to commit to giving you the best that I can every day here. Some days, like today, I'm just taking a little light, so I don't have anything really prepared. But next week, if our schedules work out, don't worry if it doesn't work next week. He's promising he'll still be here. We'll make it happen one Friday soon. Christian the Man is going to be a guest on us, and I think we'll probably do it as a live broadcast that day, so we can have a lot of interaction. So try to be here next Friday if you can. I'll let you know before then if he's going to be here or not. He and I will coordinate. And if he can't be here, I'll also tell you. We'll have something else for that day. But I'm looking forward to him coming on. Guys, it's late. I'm tired, and I need to rest. So thank you for your love. Thank you for listening to my drama. Psychic Bob's okay. And say prayers for me that I don't have Lyme disease, because that's pretty sucky. I'm not really fearful of that. Even if I have it, it's just something you have to manage. It's just how it is. A lot of people get it nowadays. But let's pray I don't, because it's just one more thing I'd have to deal with. But you guys have us. Thanks for being here, and love from Grizzly. Oh, Grizzly's gone to sleep in his chair. So he's so tired. I'm rambling too much. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. And we'll be back here tomorrow for Spiritualist Saturday for our Spiritualist class. And I'm looking forward to it. We'll see then. Blessed be. Oh, by the way, I always forget. If you want to catch up on spiritual reading, go to my website. I got wonderful books there. Check out my books. Maybe get some for yourself. And if you want to get on my schedule for private reading, you can do that as well. Okay? So give me a call, 571-483-2112 is my office number. Or you can write to me, readings@robert-hickman.com. All those links will be below this video in the information box. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a blessed night. And thanks for your love and support. You guys rock.